Hello and welcome everyone to another tutorial in the series. In today's tutorial, we are going to look at the map function and the filter function. So both of the functions are really useful functions that allow us to apply a function to a list and create a list with new values. So as always, let's look at an example to better understand map and filter function. So let's say we have a list of 10 numbers and 10, and we also have a function square, and the function takes one parameter, and we'll just return the square of that number. So return n into n. So now we have a list and a function that can square numbers. Now let's say we want to square every number in the list with the function square, and to do that we can use a regular for loop or we can use list comprehension. So let's first look at the regular method and the list comprehension, and then we'll look at the map function. So for the regular for loop, we first need an empty list. So let's say new equals an empty list, and then we can use a regular for loop, and inside the for loop we can just append to the list and call the function. So the function can be anything, but just to keep things simple, we are using a simple square function. So now let's go ahead and print the list and run the code. And as you can see, we get a list of squared numbers. So now let's do the same with list comprehension. So inside the list, we can just call the function and then use the for loop. And let's run this. And sure enough, we get the same output. We have already looked at list comprehension in the previous tutorial, so feel free to check it out. And now instead of using list comprehension or for loops, let's look at the map function. So let's remove this, and to use the map function, we'll first create the list, and then inside the list we'll call the map function. And the map function takes two parameters. First is the function name, and the second parameter is the list or the tuple. So map will apply the function square to every element in the list x. So the function square will be applied to all the elements inside list x, and the numbers will be squared, and this will create a new list. One thing to remember when using the map function is that you don't need to use round brackets after the function name. The first parameter is only the function name, and the second parameter is the list or the tuple. So let's run the code and see if it works. And as you can see, we get the same output. We have the same list with the same squared numbers. So the map function is a really useful function that allows you to apply functions to a list or tuple, and using that we can create a new list. And as we saw, list comprehension and map are able to do the same thing. It just comes down to personal preference. But when you have a function and you want to apply it to a list or tuple, using map is a lot simpler and easier. So instead of using regular for loops or list comprehension, I personally prefer using the map function. So that's all about the map function. The map function takes two parameters. First is the function name without the round brackets, and the second parameter is the list or tuple. So now let's look at the filter function. The filter function, similar to the map function, creates a list of new values based on the return values from a function. So let's clean this up and look at a new example. So for this example, let's say we have a function fun, and the function takes one parameter, and if the parameter is less than 5, it returns true, else it returns false. So now let's say we want to apply the function fun to every element in the list X and create a new list with numbers less than 5. And to do that, we can use the filter function. So similar to the filter function, we can create a new list and use the function filter. And the filter function also takes two parameters. First is the function name without the round brackets, and the second parameter is the list or tuple. So let's say X. The filter function filters or removes all the elements from the list when the function returns false, and only when the function returns true, the elements are added to the new list. So in the case of number 2, 2 is less than 5, so it returns true and it is added to the list new. And in the case of, let's say, 7, 7 is not less than 5, so it returns false and 7 is filtered out or not appended to the list. So this is how the filter function works. If the function returns true, the numbers are added to the new list, and if the function returns false, the numbers are removed or filtered out. So let's print the new list and let's run the code. And as you can see, we only get the numbers that are less than 5. So this is the filter function, and as I said, it only adds the element when the function returns true, and if the function returns false, it discards or removes that element. So now let's change the condition, and let's say the number is less than equal to 8, and let's run the code again. And now you can see it adds all the elements that are less than equal to 8. So similar to the map function, we don't need to use filter. We can do the same with a regular for loop or list comprehension. But as I said, instead of using regular for loops or list comprehension, it is a lot easier to use map or filter. So one thing to remember when using filter, it only works when you return true or false. If you return anything other than true or false, it will just copy the same list into the new list. So let's say instead of return true, we return a character A, and let's run this. And as I said, it just copies the list. So when using filter, you need to either return true or false depending on the condition. And another thing that we can do is we can directly return operations. So if n less than 6, so if n is less than 6, it will automatically return true, and if n is not less than 6, it will automatically return false. So let's run this and see if it works. And sure enough, we get the numbers less than 6. So instead of using if-else conditions to return true or false, you can directly return the operation, and depending on the operation, it will either return true or false. So that concludes this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you learned something, and see you guys until next time.